we're excited that you all are here to join us. I see too, I don't know if anyone can read my calendar behind me. It's on June. So that's a perfect illustration for how quickly July went. So now I can take a couple of those off. I usually try to get it changed before Windows because I'm nervous of this. And now I've pointed it out. So now everyone's paying attention to it. But I usually do try to update the calendar right away so that I'm not getting judgment during Windows on Waterloo. But here we are. But awesome. Oh, what was the other thing I was gonna say about August? It left my mind. Now I'm embarrassed about the calendar, honestly. So here we are. But we're really excited that you could all join us today. I hope you can't hear the like construction noise that's happening right outside. Our office is right by the Park Avenue Bridge, so we get all kinds of different noises and things being hauled in and all of that happening outside. So there's kind of some background noise going, but anyway, I think we'll go ahead and get started for this morning. And if anyone else joins us, we'll let them in as time goes here. But good morning and welcome to Windows on Waterloo for August. We're so excited that you could all join us today. My name is Paige Price. I am the program manager here at the Waterloo Community Foundation. So I get the privilege of hosting all of our Windows on Waterloo presentations. We do these on the first Wednesday of every month, and just a way to feature nonprofits and organizations that are doing good work in our community. And we love to give people a platform to share about what's going on, what they offer, any new things that are coming up, is just a way to get the word out to our community. So you may notice that Brian Burton, the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club, is not with us this morning as advertised. That was false advertising. Now turns out he ended up having to be out of the state for a funeral today. So we are very lucky that Rebecca McCarty, the Director of Mission Engagement at the Boys and Girls Club, could step in to present about the Boys and Girls Club programming and what they're planning for the future and all that good stuff. She is joining us today to fill his shoes. So thank you so much for being here, Rebecca, kind of at the last minute here. But we hope to have time for questions and answers at the end of our presentation here. So if you have questions along the way, you can feel free to put those into the chat. We'll just save them all for the end of Rebecca's presentation, and we will ask those all at once towards the end. So with that, I will turn things over to Rebecca. Welcome, and thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. Good morning, everyone. I'm Rebecca McCarty, and I'm Director of Development and Resource Development, in charge of all that at Boys and Girls Clubs of the Cedar Valley. And yeah, I'd like to tell you about our nonprofit organization today. Before I started at the club, I really didn't know what they did. You know, not being from the Lime Street, Walnut neighborhood area, you know, you hear more about it when you're in that area. So I kind of wanted to start from the beginning and tell you guys kind of where we started, about our sites a little bit, our budget, kind of where we can use support, and what we've got going on. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get my presentation going. Okay. All right. So I'd like to talk about the club history a little bit. So Boys and Girls Clubs of America had its beginning in Connecticut in way back in the 1860s, and it was just the Boys Club of America. And kind of going more in the future to when it started in Waterloo, we established our first club in 1962. And only boys were allowed to attend the club back then. And the first location was on Independence Avenue in Waterloo. In 1973, we purchased the Waterloo clubhouse that we actually have now, which was formerly used as a church. Some other kind of historical timeline things. We added a gym in 79, and then in 94 we added another Lime Street location, and we also started admitting girls kind of back in the 80s, and the girls were up on the second floor and we kept the boys on the first floor. And then in 1997 we started a $500,000 capital campaign to renovate the Lime Street location. In 2001, we changed our name to Boys and Girls Clubs of Blackhawk County. And then in 2008, we chartered a unit at Pointer Elementary School in Evansdale, and we kind of started expanding out of Waterloo. In 2010, the most recent name change went to Boys and Girls Clubs of the Cedar Valley to recognize our larger community reach. And then in 2016, we also added some extension sites at Highland Elementary and Lincoln Elementary schools in Waterloo. And then in 2020, we had a grand opening of our Teen and Educational Center, which we had a capital campaign that raised $6.5 million for. So we're kind of unique in that our clubs, when you turn 13 years old, you get to attend the Teen and Educational Center, which our teens really like to be called teens and not just boys and girls, because they feel that's a little bit more appropriate for their age group. It also gives us the advantage of, we get more teens coming. They don't have to kind of hang out with the 6-year-olds, as much, and they get to have different activities that are all geared toward them in their own space. So today, Boys and Girls Clubs of the Cedar Valley is the leading agency serving youth in Blackhawk County. Our programs provide service to nearly 1,000 boys and girls members aged 6 to 18 years old, and we have served over 35,000 youth since 1965. So moving on. So we are a 501(c)(3) nonprofit. Our mission statement is the mission of Boys and Girls Clubs of the Cedar Valley is to inspire and enable all young people, especially those who need us most, to reach their full potential as productive, responsible, and caring citizens. Our purpose is to provide a safe, structured, and educational focused space when kids are out of school but parents are in work. And then our vision is to create a world-class club experience that assures success is within the reach of every young person who comes through our doors, with all members on track to graduate from high school with a plan for the future, demonstrating good character and citizenship, and living a healthy lifestyle. And our target population is any child 6 through 18 that lives in the Cedar Valley. We operate after-school programming at 4 sites located at our Waterloo Clubhouse, our Teen and Educational Center, our new Elk Run Heights Club, and our Lincoln Elementary site. And I'll kind of go into more depth with those. Here's a little bit more about each site. So this is that older building that we obtained back in the early 70s. So it used to be a church, and we've done a couple renovations since then. It's our Waterloo Clubhouse located at 515 Lime Street in Waterloo, Iowa. That's our biggest clubhouse. Ages 6 to 12 years old attend. We have 339 registered members, and on average, we see 86 kids in the school year attend during the day, and then in the summer, 120 kids per day. We're really excited to start a new renovation phase really soon here, actually, in this fall. And we are excited to be putting in an ADA approved elevator so that people who don't use stairs can still come to the club. We don't want to leave anyone out. We want to serve everyone who needs us. And then we'll also be adding new bathrooms, hand washing station, the kind of things that you see at a lot of schools that work really well for kids. So exciting things going on here. And we've got our newest site, the the teen center, which we actually broke ground for, built from the ground up, has a half-size gym, and that's for our ages 13 to 18 years old. We have 218 registered members, and with teens, it's a little bit different because there's a lot of teens that take part in organized sports or clubs. So during the school year, we see about 33 per day, and in the summer, about 23 per day. But they change out a lot more, you know, and teens can bring their friends and they can just kind of come in and try it out and then hopefully get registered after that. The registration fee for the teen center is substantially lower than the other sites. So it's only $10 for a year's annual fee. Now the Elk Run Heights Club, that's actually, we don't own that quite yet, but we're in the process of buying it from Elk Run Heights. And it was the preschool that was in Elk Run Heights up until Lowell got renovated. And then they moved the preschool into Lowell. So it's been kind of vacant for a while, and the city's been waiting for the right people to come in and use the space. Yeah, so that site we occupy and we're in the process of purchasing. It's for club members ages 6 to 12 years old. We have 110 registered members, and the average daily attendance is 38 in the school year and 37 in the summer. $30 annual registration fee. And we used to have a site in Evansdale that was on a storefront right next to Ted's Home and Hardware, but it wasn't real safe. You know, it was glass windows. We weren't able to lock the front door when we were open to kind of buzz people in and out. And it was just a parking lot. So this site's much better for us. We have like outdoor access. We have different classrooms and a gymnasium. So our kids are really enjoying using that new space. And then we have our Lincoln Elementary site, and we just run this out of Lincoln Elementary, ages 6 to 12 years old, 152 registered members, and our average daily attendance is 40 in the school year. And then in the summertime, members attend the Waterloo Clubhouse and a $30 annual registration fee. So during the school year, our hours of operation for our club members to attend are Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then the teen center stays open a little bit later until 8 p.m. In the summertime, we're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. until 6 p.m. at all of our sites. So a little bit about our meals and snacks. We partner with the Northeast Iowa Food Bank to provide Kids Cafe, which is a program of Feeding America. So during the school year, the food bank prepares and provides all of our sites with one snack per child and one dinner or meal per child. During the summer, each site's provided 2 snacks per child and 1 lunch per child. So, and also during the summer, we work with Waterloo schools to provide a breakfast. So the meals are all nutritionally sound, and we make sure we're prepared to meet all 5 food groups with fruit, produce. Yeah, so we have some really good partnerships for our meals. It's important that we have goals and outcomes for what we would like our club members to kind of be by the end of their experience with us, which hopefully will be high school graduation, and then junior leadership, and maybe even being a staff member. So our organization's goals for our attending members are that our attending members will receive a proficient GPA. Our attending members will increase knowledge of healthy lifestyles. Our attending members will learn life applicable skills. And then our outcomes, so the goals that we want for our attending members are improvement in school attendance and maintenance of GPA, and then progression of grade level, reduction of disciplinary referrals. And we measure all of those over the course of the school year. We use a few partners for that. SuccessLink tracks all the data on our club members and compares it to the Waterloo School District. And we get data from them 2 times a year, which we, compare each semester to semester, as well as to the Waterloo Community Schools District average. So they provide us information on things like school attendance, grades, and behavioral referrals. I just want to share some of our successes from the last school year to give you an idea of how our club members are doing. So our club members' GPA increased from 1.89 in the fall of 2022 to 2.3 in the spring of 2023. 96% of our club members reported that they avoid risky behavior, including smoking, alcohol, marijuana, and fighting. 90% of our club members reported that they are confident in their ability to pursue their goals. Club members' average days missed for the spring of 2023 was 11.2 and compared to the district average of 12. That's a little bit better. And then 91% of our club members report being on track to graduate on time. And our club members had 7.7 behavioral referrals in the spring of 2023 compared to the district average of 16.6 behavioral referrals. So good numbers there that we're proud of. I wanted to talk about our impact in the Cedar Valley and kind of what we do to reach those goals in accordance with programs and all that. So basically in Iowa, the unmet demand for after-school programs has reached an all-time high, with nearly 196,000 children who would be enrolled in a program if one was available to them. So for every child in an after-school program, 4 more are waiting to get in. So according to opendatanetwork.com, 3.5 of Waterloo's youth don't finish 9th grade on time, and 17% of Waterloo's youth don't graduate on time. So what we do to combat that, we have academic success programs, Power Hour. That's an hour of homework help that we do every day during the school year. We have unit directors run that and help with homework. We have STEM programming, computer science programming, something called Diplomas to Degrees, and that's obviously focusing on graduating high school. We have Money Matters, where we partner with different banks in the area, have speakers, do kind of mock credit cards, things like that. And then Summer Brain Gain during the summer to make sure we reduce that summer slide. Our impact from that is that 69% of our teens improved their GPA, 41% of our teens improved their attendance rates, and this is numbers from 2022. And then 91% of our club members expect to graduate from high school, and that's from a survey. So for our good character and citizenship programming, 87% of Iowa parents agree that after school programs keep children safe and out of trouble. So what we do in terms of programming is we have Keystone Club and Torch Club, which those are 2 different age levels teaching our youth about leadership. They get to actually produce merchandise, sell it, use the money toward, whatever they want to do at the club, be it video games or pizza parties, things like that, and just kind of teach them about their leadership skills. We have our Youth of the Month program, which we recognize one youth at every site every month. There's a Youth of the Year program that we pick from our teen center, and then we send them to compete against other Youth of the Years from around the nation at BGCA. And then we do Passport to Manhood, deals with a lot of good character and citizenship for our teens as well. Our impact is that 95% of our club members had fewer in-school suspensions. 69% of our teens report volunteering in their community. 93% of our club members are confident in their leadership skills, and 90% of our club members are confident in their ability to pursue their goals. Last one I wanted to talk about was healthy lifestyles. So according to stateofchildhoodobesity.org, 17.6% of youth ages 10 to 17 years old have obesity in Iowa. So the programming we have to combat that are Triple Play, which is basically anything under the sun that our unit directors can get creative to get our kids outside moving in the gym. Then we have Smart Moves, which deals more with decision making, and making the right choices, peer pressures, those types of things. And then Smart Girls, which deals a lot with feminine hygiene and peer pressure, bullying, that types of thing. Our impact is that 96% of our club members avoid risky behavior. 97% of our club members report getting at least 60 minutes of physical activity per day if they attend club. And 100% of our club members have access to fresh fruits and vegetable options at club every day. All right. So next I wanted to talk about the events we do in order to build community. We think it's really important that people, first of all, know who we are because we need the community support. And we just have such great things to offer the youth of the Cedar Valley, and we want to serve as many youth as possible. So partners are really important to us. Silver Eagle Chili Feed, that's a partnership that we have with the Silver Eagle Hog chapter. They decided that they wanted to throw a benefit to kind of raise some money for the club. So every year in February, they basically have a chili cook-off, get as many chilies from partners in the Cedar Valley as possible. We had like Starbucks chili versus Roadhouse versus you name it, anyone they could get chili from, and they charge per head, and then you get a never-ending bowl of chili, and then they present us with a check at the end of that event. We love community events that are high exposure, and parades are a great way to come face to face with kids in the community. We do the My Waterloo Days parade. We do the Summer Soul Classic Parade, which is really fun with drill teams and all that. And we're excited to pass out candy, swag, like little bracelets or stress balls with our logo on it. We like to pass out membership forms, and we get right there on the street with the parents and talk about our membership forms and have informational brochures as well if they haven't heard about us. The Back to School Bash is something we started doing yearly. It's the Sullivan Park Block Party. It's a free event to the public with food, activities, speakers, music, and prizes. And then our club gives away over 1,000 backpacks stocked with school supplies. Last year I think we did 1,000. This year it's closer to 1,500. So it's going to be a big event this Saturday, August 19th, and it's from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. So you can see in that photo, that line is of people who are registering to get their free backpack. So you register, and then an hour later you can come pick up your backpack. The Evansdale Color Run's the last community event I thought I'd talk about. So this is a 5K run, walk, or ride event. Since we had a site in Evansdale, we wanted to do something along with the My Evansdale Days for that community. So participants get a white event t-shirt, and then they get doused with color along the route. It starts and ends at the Evansdale Fire Station. And this year we're having it September 16th, pretty early in the morning. So registration's at 7:30 a.m. and the color burst start is at 8 a.m. So a fun thing to come out and support. I kind of wanted to talk about our revenue sources quick and our budget before we get into our fundraising events. So as a nonprofit, we operate on a budget that's roughly 1.3 million, and our revenue sources are made up of, from biggest to smallest, foundations and grants at 29%, special events or fundraising events at 26%, individual donations at 20%, planned gifts or bequests at 16%, and corporations at 10%. And then for us, being able to effectively serve our youth starts with our youth development staff. So as with any service organization, I think we can all agree personnel cost is always the largest part of operating costs. So we're no different, with more than 80% of the operating budget being for personnel costs. The other 20% of our budget covers things like facilities, supplies, food, etc. So going into our fundraising events or special events, fundraising events are a great way for our club to also connect with the community and create new lifelong donors. So these events are usually for the adult crowd. We do try to bring in club members and parents as guests and speakers, but these events are more for people that want to come and go to an auction or try to win a big prize. So we try to do 3 major fundraising events a year. The first one happens in February around Valentine's Day. So it's called Love the Mission Breakfast. So that's just a mission-focused event with speakers, breakfast, and a donation ask. It's fundraising for our annual campaign, and it's also a chance to recognize some of our partners with awards. So we do a Donor of the Year, Volunteer of the Year, Partner of the Year, and Lifetime Achievement Award. The next event happens in the spring, and this is our biggest fundraising event with a goal of $100,000. It's called the Exploring the Great Outdoors event. So this event centers around a reverse raffle for a brand new camper. We sell tickets for $40 each. You can enter as many times as you want, but we only sell 1,000 tickets. Then we do a reverse raffle for the winner of the camper. And then we also have a live and silent auction, a 50-50 raffle. We do live music, and it's dinner and drinks. It's a really fun event. And then our last fundraising event of the year happens in the fall, and we do the Harley Party. This will be the 14th annual Harley Party we're doing this fall. The fundraising goal for that event is $75,000. Only $40 per ticket, and we sell 1,000 tickets for that event as well. And it's a reverse raffle for a brand new Harley Davidson motorcycle. Again, we have a live and silent auction for that event, a 50-50 raffle. We have a game called a 1 through 100 board where you can donate $1 up to $100, and then you get a prize or a creation from a club member corresponding to that level of donation. And then there's also live music, dinner and drinks with that event as well. The last type of event I wanted to talk about was our programming events. And these events are, I mean, they don't bring in money, but these are for the kids. They are geared toward the club kids and their families. And this is what the kids see. They don't get to come out and see how we're, paying for the staffing costs or anything like that. The kids want to, have fun. So these are geared toward the club kids, their families, and sometimes they're open to the community as well. So we do Construction Day in partnership with Woodruff Construction, and this has become a really big deal. They bring in machinery. We get the blow up slides and everything from Blackhawk Rental. They bring their virtual reality van to the teen center so they can do some virtual reality construction work. And then we do games, relays, and all the machinery at the Waterloo Clubhouse. Fall Fest is what we do kind of in lieu of Halloween. So it's celebrated on or near October 31st. We have games, prizes, candy, and it's just a fun and safe way to celebrate trick-or-treating without kids necessarily having to be on the streets running around. Our family Thanksgiving dinner is also pretty big. So club members, their families, and community members are invited for a Thanksgiving meal. This is one of our largest volunteer events of the year. People love to come and just serve the kids. And then we just all eat in the gym. And then we have Fun with Frosty. So this is a winter celebration event with games, candy, prizes. We usually have some pretty nice prizes. Olive Garden usually does I can't remember what it's called, a program where they give gifts to families that request certain items and things like that. So we try to cover all of our bases around that holiday season, and this happens right before the winter break for the kids. So the best way to help support Boys and Girls Clubs of the Cedar Valley is to get involved. So we're always looking for volunteers and donors. The three things that we say you can donate are your time, talent, or treasure. So if you don't have a checkbook and you don't want to write a check out, we can have you volunteer or help us with the committee, things like that. We have some donors that like to just send us a check when we start advertising our annual campaign. We're also starting a sponsorship program this year where an individual or a business can sponsor one of our programs. For example, you could sponsor our Power Hour program for the year, and we would use your business name, your logo in congruence with the program, and on all of our marketing and media. We'd recognize you on social media and our website, and you'd receive invitations and tickets to our events. And we'd send you handwritten notes from our club members. So there's, you could sponsor different programs and we give you certain perks. But we also accept all kinds of in-kind donations besides monetary donations. We accept things like pool tables, foosball tables, winter coats. Rockets Bakery donates their end of the day donuts to us. Right now we're looking for donations to auction off at our 2023 Harley party. So even kind of those weird unique items, like you have a original framed hockey jersey signed by Wayne Brady or something, those types of things we're actually looking for donations. So you wouldn't know it, but if you give us a call, we might have a need for it. And then our clubs are always in need of things like art supplies. Our teen center is working on a denim craft project right now, so we're looking to accept old jeans. And then we're always partnering with businesses as well, or small individual groups. They come in and volunteer to help with certain things. Like we had Hydrite come in, they helped clean up our playground. Prairie Lakes Church, they came and painted our teen lounge once. Al Casino came and organized one of our reading rooms. We also love volunteers that would like to work with our club members. So after background checks, we can have businesses do like crafts with the kids, reading activities, and sports with our club members. So yeah, so just contact me if you'd like to support our club. And we do a quarterly newsletter. If you want to stay up to date with what we have going on, I'd love to get you on that mailing list. And follow us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rebecca. If anybody has any questions, you can go ahead and put those into the chat. I know that I have a couple that I'll just start off with here. I wanted to first loop back a little bit. That's really exciting about the Elk Run Heights location. That sounds like a great opportunity for everybody involved, and sounds like it will be a more conducive space for what your needs are. Will you need to do renovations or anything like that? I know it's, as a preschool, probably set up a little bit to what your needs would be, but do you guys foresee having to do some renovations and upgrades and that kind of thing there?
Yeah, we do. Hawkeye Community College was running a class out of one of the rooms, and they were able to put in quite a few new windows. and redo a few rooms. And we're kind of like, yeah, that's what we want it to look like. So they've got a couple done, and we wanted to finish off a couple more. There are a lot more rooms than we actually need in that building, so we're probably going to end up gating off some of the rooms and not using them, not doing so much for the renovations. And we're kind of going to update the heating and things like that. The roof still has some good years in it, but there's plenty of opportunities for fundraising and renovations there as well. Yes. Good
Right.
question.
Will that location allow you to serve more kids too, or has capacity not been an issue in Evansdale so far? Or that's amazing that you'll be able to, I mean, block off some of it to have that much space.
Yeah, actually, so at the Evansdale site, our capacity was 45 at that storefront. So the unit director was sometimes calling parents like one in, one out. Like a kid would leave for the day and she'd call and be like, hey, your kid can come to club now because one kid just left. So it was kind of crazy because it was that tight. Whereas at Elk Run Heights, if we have the staff, our ratio is one staff member to every 20 kids right now. So as long as we have the staff, we can serve like a lot of kids out there. Not that I would think we would ever have like 900 kids just at that site, but it could happen.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Do you guys have kind of a ideal timeline of when you're hoping to be operating out of that space? Or I know construction stuff, I know all of that is like crazy right now, but do you have kind of a date you're crossing your fingers for?
Well, we've been operating out of that site for almost a year now.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, you just know how it takes a long time for them to say yes, we want, get in the process of buying it and everything.
I see. Okay.
We're finally able to like talk about it more now. It's been in the works for a while, but
Yeah, no, that's great. We had a question come in here asking, do you have scholarships available for families unable to afford the registration fee? The fee is low, but a family with multiple children might struggle.
That is a very good question. And yes, we never turn a family away. We have actually plenty of donors that are like, I just want to pay for kids to go to club. So there's always that. And we just waive it when we need to. Or we have certain, programs as well. I can't remember if you have a certain kind of card, it's just free to come. I'm gonna have to get back to you on what kind of card that is, but there's a certain type of insurance that is just free. So yeah, we waive it for just about anyone.
Yeah, no, that's great. I think that's awesome because to Cecilia's point, it's one thing for just one kid, but then when you start to add all of those up, it can be a lot. So that's great that you guys have the flexibility to work with families and offer your programming to all people. I know you mentioned too your partnership with the Northeast Iowa Food Bank, and you guys work with lots of different organizations and partners. Do you partner with other organizations to provide any of your programming?
Yeah, like with Money Matters, we partnered with a few different banks. I think Viridian's come in. Yeah, a few of those like organizations. I think I wish I had my programming guys in here because they talk about this stuff, and boy, they're taking huge strides this year. We've added a new position in programming too, which has been really, really nice, just to communicate and build those relationships with the schools and recruit as well. Trying to rack my brain. I wish I could just pull them in. But yeah, we do take partnerships for our programs, and people are eager. I mean, we have connections everywhere at Hawkeye, UNI. There's a lot of field trips we take where we can kind of explore career options and things like that, for our different programs as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we were talking to someone from Vision to Learn a couple of weeks ago during our grant site visits, and she was talking about how they were going to be at Boys and Girls Club for eye exams and glasses and that kind of thing too. And I think it can be so advantageous for programs like that to work with you guys too, because it's the kids are there and they're already utilizing your programming. And so it can be a great way to access kids and have it, especially during the summer where we're not in school and that kind of thing. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you guys dream about providing any other programming in the future? I know like the needs and the cool thing and all that is always changing with kids. So are there different things in art or music or esports or anything like that that's kind of on the horizon for you guys?
Yeah, it's kind of fun because the kids, it's crazy what you think they want to do and then what those programs end up doing. Like we have a program called Lyricism 101, which we kind of developed into Hip Hop 101, and we gave the kids a studio, some studio equipment, for laying down tracks, and we thought, they'd be doing the hip hop type of music, and they ended up doing gospel. So they kind of took that avenue, which is awesome, and they're just creating music with that program. A lot of our kids utilize a dance studio that we have, and they just want to go and make up dances. So yeah, whatever their interests are at the moment, we do, our power hour and our things for academic success, and then we kind of have them rotate to different areas of the club. So once you're done with power hour, you might go to the art room or you might go to the dance studio, and then the younger kids will go right to snack. So they're always moving around with options of different programs to be doing. And right now, I'm trying to think of what our teen director, she just comes up with whatever the kids are interested in and kind of formats it into one of our BGCA programs. Like she did an essay contest for our Black History Month, and then she also fit in an etiquette class that they kind of did a whole dinner for parents to come and see how their kids learned to like set the table and serve and do different courses of the meal while hearing the Black History Month essays. And then they had an award ceremony for it. And it was just all these great ideas that the unit director just wanted to do with the kids, and that they were excited about helping plan and execute. So, we could plan our whole year out, but, I think the point that everyone kind of gets is if the kids are interested in it, they're going to look forward to coming to club every day. And in order to come to club, you have to go to school that day. So that's going to help their attendance too. And they're going to build those great relationships with peers and adults that care about them and their future, and just create great citizens from the Cedar Valley.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that's really neat too, how you said not planning out a whole year of programming, but kind of adapting to what the needs are. And it sounds like you have some great staff in those positions too, where it takes the right person to be able to identify what they're interested in and then find a way to incorporate that and get kids excited about it. I know you mentioned kids kind of moving through different stages and then potentially becoming staff when they're adults. Do you have quite a few on your staff who are previous club members?
Yes, it's absolutely probably the biggest way we get youth development professionals is through our junior staff program. Really working at the club, it's not super lucrative because we are a nonprofit. We can try to compete with competitive wages, and we do try to, and we offer holiday pay, inclement weather pay, whatever we can to try to match what those other places are doing, with McDonald's and all those things. It's just what we do is so rewarding that you really need to have your heart in it as well. So through Keystone Club and Torch Club, it kind of preps them into being in that junior staff program. And then when they graduate high school, it's like, come back in the summer, work at the club. So we have a whole week of summer training for our summer staff, and a lot of them are club members, which is really good to see. They come back, it's really easy for them to relate to the kids remember them. They have experiences. And yeah, it's really rewarding to see those kids come back full circle and yeah, make that experience a career.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome. And because you put your staff pictures up there too, and it's harder to see on the screen, but I've seen in your materials before that I think you guys do such a great job of having such a diverse staff as well. And like in all areas, I mean, race, gender, age, all of that. And I think that can be really difficult for a lot of our organizations to achieve that. And so to see that kind of diversity, especially at an organization like yours, is really neat, because I know you have kids from all kinds of different backgrounds and all of that. And so when they can go to the club and see people that look like them or come from a similar background, or where they can identify with people, is really important and cool. And so it's really neat to see how well you guys are doing in that area. So kudos.
Thank you. Yeah, and we have I love to talk about Miss Gloria. She has been with the club since that first location on Independence Avenue. So she's wow. She's been here forever. She knows kids' grandparents. They walk in like, oh, you're so and so's grandchild. Like, she's been here for decades. So yeah, there's that family atmosphere too, and a lot of the kids are like cousins or whatever, and it's just a great way to be able to come to the club is like, oh yeah, we know Miss Gloria. Just those people can really bring in those kids and keep that sense of community.
That's awesome. She must have a lot of energy to like work, to be in an environment with so many kids every day for so long. That's incredible. But that's really cool. Do you guys have any kind of, I'm sorry to loop back to kind of registration and that kind of thing, but do you have any kind of income requirement for kids to register?
Nope. And I guess one big thing is, 71% of our kids do qualify for the low reduced cost lunch. So they are under the poverty line, but our club is for everyone. I don't know if you guys know Mac McCausland. He was a huge advocate for the club. His son Kent is still on the board and everything, but he earned the Lifetime Achievement Award last year. And one of his big messages was the club is for everyone. Like, if you have kids and you guys are in a pretty well-to-do household, still bring your kids to the club, because they need to meet different kinds of kids and have different kinds of experiences. And it's still just such a positive atmosphere. So we kind of want to be there for everyone. And it's kind of fun that, you drop off your kids at the club, or they come on the school bus from the school usually. Or we have club vans that come pick them up as well. And then they're getting their homework taken care of. They're getting fed a good meal. And by the time you come pick them up, before when you're done with work or whatever you need to get done, your kid's been fed, has their homework done, ready to spend some time with the family. So it's kind of a little bit of a low stressor for the family for such a small amount of money. And yeah.
Absolutely. Well, and even having that transportation piece is such a big deal for families with working parents too, of like school lets out before I finished with work, and having a way for you guys to get kids to where they need to be is a big deal too. And I know that's a big undertaking for the nonprofit to provide that kind of thing. And speaking from experience working in one, that can be such a big deal, is figuring out how to get people to our programming. And so that's a big deal too. And appreciate you guys taking that on as well. Is there anything else that you've kind of thought of along the way that you wanted to share before we end today, or anything else you're looking forward to or excited about in the future? I know when did Brian take over as CEO? Was it like 6 months ago? I know he was interim, so the timeline's all kind of fuzzy.
Yeah, it was about exactly 6 months ago that he actually officially got named CEO. So that was February. But July the year before was when he took over interim. So yeah, he's been able to make decisions since February. Yes. And then yeah, I think if you guys haven't met Brian, he's great. He's been here I think about 8 years, and he's had pretty much every position you can have. I am a huge advocate for stopping by the club, and I'd love to give you a tour, or my assistant can give you a tour and get you some marketing materials and show you our spaces, and just so you can talk about it in the community. I'd love everyone to kind of know what we do, just in case there's that resource someone doesn't know about. If one of your businesses has a spot for like a little informational brochure where you think parents could utilize our services, let me know. We'd love to get you those dropped off, or hopefully it just pops in your head. Maybe if you guys are looking for a service project to do at some point, we can hook you up with some really good opportunities to help us and our kids. Yeah, we just want to keep our doors open and keep making the Cedar Valley better. There's so many improvements going on in the Walnut neighborhood right now with Habitat for Humanity down here and everything. And it's really nice to actually physically come to the site. And I welcome you to walk in and get a tour. Administration, our office is here on Lime Street, and we are here from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. So stop in.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a great, I know that's always helpful to me, is to actually go on site at these places to see what's going on. How does the programming look and feel here, and who's here, and that kind of thing. It's a I don't know, it just kind of opens your eyes more to what's going on and what the needs are in the community. So that's a great opportunity, and thank you for the invitation. I know that you are a busy gal, and so taking the time to show the community around your spaces is very gracious and kind. So thank you. And thank you so much again for filling in today and for telling us more about your guys' programming and what's coming for the future and everything. We're grateful to have you guys in the community serving kids for such a long time, and in such big capacity too. I know that you have so many kids and are so have just a great reputation in the community. So we're grateful for you guys and the way that you serve our youth here. And again, thanks for being here today. And thank you to everyone for joining us too. We will send out a recording of this presentation, so feel free to share that or watch back again if you'd like to. And I hope that you will join us again next month. It will be Wednesday, September 6th. And we will have Robert Smith and Bethany Botchway from UniQ here talking about their programming and what they offer in the community, kind of on the theme of back to school there in the beginning of September. So hope you will all join us then, and that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.